Hey, welcome back to the Safety Meeting Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Isaac Heggert. Today's doubly special for two reasons. One, it's the first time we're on the road ever. And two, we're on the road at Halston's house.
Oh,
Am I saying your name right?
Halston.
Halston.
Yeah.
Halston. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Your social media handle will be like right here under you. Follow him at this address.
Halston's.
Halston
Rays. I don't know what it is. I just changed it.
Oh, yeah?
I changed it from Halston Ray Music to Halston Rays because I think people are getting confused.
Right.
Like, they're like, oh, I want to see who Halston is from podcast stuff. And then they're like, I don't know, Halston Music. What is music?
Right. He can't possibly be a musician.
Yeah.
He's a producer.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are the producer of the Bertcast.
Yeah.
With Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Wife of the party.
Yep.
With his wife, Kreischer.
Yep. Leanne Kreischer.
Leanne Kreischer, that's right. Yeah. And Gettin Better with Ron Funches. And did I miss any?
No.
Cool.
No. I was doing Jamcast, the James Michael podcast with James, and we haven't been doing that. So
taking a little break.
Just 3.
Is 3 that fills up your week pretty good, right?
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
Fills up every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost all day, every day. But I want it. I brought that on myself.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I started working with Bert, I started my own business. So I have a media business now, and I take on clients like Ron and Leanne, and it's a friendship, but it's all, I don't call them my clients.
Sure.
That's ridiculous. But,
because you spend so much time with them.
Yeah. And so I work around all their schedules and the guest schedule. And, if it's busy, I'll be recording a podcast every day. This is my second one today.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was at Ron's right before. I just got home right before you came. Yeah. And then we set up the set.
Boom. Here we are.
Look, I've never done a podcast here.
It's going to look awesome because I have an entire color suite on my computer. So we can make us look great.
I'm going to edit this podcast.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for fun.
You want to do dueling edits? You want to just compare cuts?
I'll see which ones. Yeah.
And then you can have final approval. But I'll go to my studio and cut. You cut, and then what we can do is post them both and just have the fans vote.
Which one's better?
Right.
But if I lost, I would feel really insecure.
I would pay to promote mine on Google though. I'd put ad space on.
I'll pay on Instagram then.
Ooh, challenge accepted. You could probably get yours out in front of a couple more faces than I can, but
no, not me. Bert though.
Yeah.
He just hit 1 million followers.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, he was in the 700s. I haven't checked in a while, but
he's at 1.1 now.
Good for him, man. It appears to be a hardworking guy.
He's the hardest working person I've ever seen in my life. Him and Ron both, and Leanne for that matter. Leanne is the backbone of Bert Inc. Right. And she's fucking incredible. But Ron and Bert, they play shows every weekend. And then they come home like Monday, Tuesday. And they go back out on the road Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back Sunday, podcast Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. And then they're back out on the road and they're doing sets in between and they're filming other shows. And it's insane. I don't want that life. Like I'm busy every day, but they're busy every day and all night usually.
So you get a little bit a minute to breathe on the weekends when they're out on the road.
That's when I edit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Of course. So I record everything during the weekdays, and then I have everything together, and then on the weekends I edit. So I edited a whole bunch ahead of time so that we could all watch the UFC fights today, and I could have a day off.
Yeah.
And,
which is we're gonna cut this off. When does the fight start?
Yeah. I don't know.
If this comes to an abrupt stop, you'll know why.
I want to get this out of now. We got to be professional podcasters.
Yeah, well, we are professional podcasters, but professionals need to take breaks and watch fights too.
That's a good call.
What we like to do on this show is walk people through their life story and how they got to LA and into the biz. Yeah. My least favorite word in the entire planet is industry.
Yeah.
Anytime someone says, "Are you in the industry?" I say, "Yes, I'm in textiles." But where were you born?
Born in Oak Harbor, Washington. I'm a military kid.
All right. Move around a lot?
Oh, yeah. Moved around all over the world. Goodness gracious. From the time I was 0 to 13, I had gone from Washington, Oregon, another move in Oregon, to Italy, then to Hawaii, then back to Oregon, and then I started 8th grade.
Wow.
Incredibly unstable.
So you got a lot of airline miles built up before you.
Well, my parents actually one time we took a C-17 plane. You know what those are? The
big
cargo,
ones.
the
Yeah,
cargo
yeah.
planes, the ones that the people skydive out of
Mhm.
and drop cargo. And there's the seats that are like L-shaped like this,
Mhm.
and then you have to stand straight up because it's for parachuters and shit.
Sure.
And they're like not comfortable.
Well, they're probably not made for somebody of your stature. How tall are you? 6'8"?
6'5".
6'5".
6'5" with shoes on,
Yeah.
probably like
Yeah.
6'6".
14s?
These are 13s. You
13s.
think I'd be a 14 guy, but
Yeah.
13. I'm so grateful for that because I can't find fucking 13 still. Hardly 8. And then ones that I can find, they don't look good all the time.
Mhm.
So you never know what the fuck. So yeah, I moved around from then until 13
Mhm.
and went to middle school in Dallas, Oregon, and went from 8th grade all the way through high school. So in one spot, 5 years, one spot. That's pretty good.
That's a long stretch for a military kid.
That's a long stretch for me.
Did the family get out of the military for that stretch?
Yeah, he retired when I was 13, 14-ish, around that time. And thank God, though. I mean, everything went fucking crazy after 9/11. So
Mm-hmm.
he was gone. He was always deployed and shit and going to
Yeah.
Iraq and Afghanistan and all that stuff. So I'm glad he's away from that. But he's a cop now, so
Oh,
I
cool.
only have to worry about him locally,
Right.
not internationally.
But still serving the public.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a hero.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
I don't do shit. I sing songs and press buttons, and he's like a hero.
Beep boop up. Yep. What got you initially interested in music? Was it did you find music in high school, middle school, early on?
I was homeschooled my whole life.
Mm.
That's not true. Why did I say that? I was homeschooled my whole life up until 5th grade.
Okay.
And so the music I got to listen to up until 5th grade was Christian rock and rap.
Yeah. Oh, Christian rap, DC Talk.
DC Talk.
That's what's up.
Toby Mac.
Mm-hmm.
The OC Supertones.
I didn't get that one.
They weren't rap, but there was this other one. Man, I wish I knew what it was, but it was like 7 black dudes who all rapped about
Christian Cypress Hill
Jesus.
kind of.
Yes. It's a blue album. I have there's
I can
no way
see
I
it.
could ever know what it
No.
was, but yeah,
We're
got
gonna
that for
Google
Christmas.
Oh my God. We need a producer for
Yeah,
us.
what the fuck?
What's going on?
Pull that up, Halston.
I self-produce my show. So when I am talking to my producer, I just turn around and yell down the hall to my mom, who lives in North Carolina. So she hasn't. I'm usually calling for a hot pocket or something funny, but
Meatloaf.
Mom, yeah, it's definitely a ripoff from, I think it's Wedding Singer.
Wedding Crashers.
Yes,
Oh, Wedding
100%.
Singer.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. What? Not to super call you out, but what was your favorite Christian rock band growing up, or Christian artists?
Demon Hunter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Striper
Okay.
for a little
Well,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he follows me on Twitter, the lead singer.
I worked at a music management company in North Carolina called Deep South Entertainment. It's owned by a guy named Dave Rose, and he put them back on the road about 5 or 6 years ago. He found all of their shit in storage, dusted it off, called them all up, booked them a show, and now they're doing great.
For real?
Yeah, they're back in it. They're like making money and
Good for
touring.
him.
Yeah.
I haven't really listened to much Striper.
The new album sounds like the last Striper song that you heard. It's stripery. There's some stripes on it for sure.
I liked Disciple, but that was kind of later on. I got into metal later on and rock.
Yeah.
After I was 13, but before then, Audio Adrenaline.
Ooh,
Yeah. That's the one I was trying to remember.
What a pull right there, dude. That's insane. Oh, what was that?
Big house,
Right.
with lots and lots of
Rooms. Oh,
a
man.
big
Oh.
table, with lots and lots of food.
Wow. I'm going to cut
Big,
to the
big yard
video of that.
where we can play football. A big house. It's my father's house. Wow. How did I remember that?
Dude, that's insane. Okay, what's the guy? Michael W. Smith? Michael J. Smith? Nothing?
I don't know.
Oh,
Who?
man.
the lead singer or something?
No, he was like a solo guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Michael, I think it's W. Smith. And then, okay, here we go. Amy Grant.
Of course. Yeah.
Dude, that was coming
Charlotte Church.
I don't know that one. Do I know that one?
I don't know. She was like some 13-year-old girl with an amazing voice. I got a couple. Ready?
Yeah.
Cutlass. Jars of Clay.
Oh, man. The biggest crossover success in Christian music history. 40 Days, 40 Nights.
I don't even know what that is.
The Jars of Clay song.
Oh.
The
song. Okay. I thought it was a band. I was like,
days. No, that was their, it got played on regular radio, and we were like, everybody's going to be a Christian by the end of the year.
Yeah. Who was the other one? The Newsboys and then the other ones.
Newsboys. That's a deep, yeah.
Who was the other? There was another poppy one.
Oh, man.
I thought Christian music is so weird.
It is weird.
It's so strange, but I guess church is what got me into music. A big part of it.
It's a great place to perform when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Get a gig every Sunday.
Every Sunday. You practice once a week and you have a gig every Sunday. And that's how I grew up, like in the church, like playing guitar and singing sometimes. I didn't really start being a front man until I was like 15 or something, but because I was
at the wise old age of 15,
going through puberty, you know, I didn't know what my voice was going to be like. And I did a talent show in 7th grade in Hawaii, mind you. So we did a talent show, and I was the lead singer, and we covered American Idiot, by Green Day, and I had the highest voice ever. I was like, "Do you guys know who Green Day is? The song is called American Idiot." And it was just like the worst performance ever, but I was riding so high. I was getting attention that I never had gotten before, especially from the female side. And as a 13-year-old boy, you're like, what? This is the key to life.
Right.
Being a singer. So got into Motley Crue after that. And then it was all downhill from there. It was all rock all the time. Everything. I have a huge wall of bandanas that I've collected from different concerts.
Those are awesome.
Because I was too poor to afford shirts, and the bandanas are $15 and shirts are $40.
Why is a t-shirt $40?
The bandanas are sicker too. I love these bandanas. I love them. I think they look cool.
They do look cool.
Alice Cooper and
and these are all just shows you've been to over the years.
Yeah, some of them.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
So high school was awesome, right? So you're 15, you're performing in church. Do you start what were you into in high school? Were you a theater kid, band kid, football? They had to ask you to play basketball.
So I was basketball, theater, and I had my own band called Discovering Mayhem.
Awesome. It's the hardest part of being in a band is naming the band.
We had this talent. It was a ticket selling contest. It had nothing to do with anything. It was a ticket selling contest, pay to play sort of thing. They rope you in. But I was in high school. I didn't know anything else. Right. We ended up selling the most tickets, and we got to play the Roseland Theater in Portland, Oregon, which is a big theater. A lot of bands go through there. Hailstorm. I saw him there. I saw a shitload of people there. But I got to play there, and that was really fucking cool when I was really, really young. And so that made me want to move out to LA and be a rock star. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I was playing shows all the time. We were recording. We were just playing any shows we could get. And I mean, the music scene in Portland isn't really thriving that much, but there's a weird like metalcore scene going on over there, and I didn't really fit in there. Yeah. I was in a metal band for 2 years in Oregon. After I should probably go in order of my life.
It's okay. People can jump around. I also do cut downs for my show. So if there's an interesting like 2 minutes, I throw it on my YouTube channel.
Cool.
Metal for a couple years, huh?
Yeah. After high school in Oregon, I moved to LA, and I went to school at Musicians Institute. Okay. For singing. And I graduated that. It was like 2-year program. Useless piece of paper. Doesn't mean a thing. All I really learned was that like I'm like keep doing what you're doing, sort of thing.
Work hard. Hard work pays off.
Mm,
Did you meet other people that you formed a band with there? Because there's a lot of guitar heads that go there, right?
I had a buddy I moved down here with. He was the drummer, and we tried to get it going, but he very quickly fell into the drugs and alcohol of it. He wanted to be a rock star. He didn't want to be a musician, and I want to be a musician.
Right.
I want to be a songwriter and a singer, and I don't care about the drugs and alcohol, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get the shit that's inside of me outside of me, and that's the best way and the only way that I really know how.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a story inside of you. You have a message.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Usually about like darkness going into light and all that stuff.
There you go.
It's all about depression, and it was just so funny. I didn't know I had depression, which is crazy because I was writing songs like a depressed person,
right?
And I had no clue
until you go back and like look at last year's lyrics or something. You're like, man, what was I going through last year?
Right?
Yeah.
What was like high school? Damn.
Yeah.
I thought I was having fun.
I've never been the lyricist. I've always wanted to be a singer. I've always wanted to be a frontman because I feel like I have the pizzazz.
Yeah.
I don't have the voice, and I can't write words, which is also affecting me in the comedy world that I just started. But
words,
writing them is tough.
Not everyone writes though. In comedy, they keep it in their head. I mean, you don't.
It's true.
You just kind of keep going up and up and up and up, and as many sets as you do, you just kind of iron things out that way, and then you have 10 minutes.
There you go.
You could do a bunch with 10 minutes.
That's right. Open
for anyone. 10, 15 minutes, you can open for people on the road.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. I'm working on getting my first minute together. I did my first show on my 40th birthday in October.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. How was that?
Yeah.
Kind of horrifying.
I'm a public speaker for my regular job. And I get a microphone at work.
Okay.
To call rolls and cuts for film sets.
Yeah.
So I have like 4,000 or 5,000 hours on a microphone in front of people.
Great.
So like if I'm bombing, I don't feel it because I bomb at work all the time. I just want to know what it would be like to say something and hear the crowd laugh. That would be.
Love ya.
Nice to meet you.
Fun at work. Sorry, my girlfriend's going to work.
But yeah, I'm going to do the slow boat to comedy. Just, I'm going to get there.
Good idea. Podcasting is probably a really good way, and talking to other comedians and whatnot, and then meeting all the comedians.
Yeah.
The comedy world is so cool.
It is.
I've always been interested in it. I've always been obsessed with it. Another reason that I have depression, another reason I like comedy is because I have depression, and I sought out comedy to make me laugh and pull me out of it, and I would fall asleep to it so that I was falling asleep laughing or in a good mood or just hearing jokes. So obvious. But
were you diagnosed clinically?
Yeah. I found out while I was recording a podcast about depression, and one of the girls that was on the episode was describing depression and saying how it feels like a lead vest is on your chest, like an X-ray vest that they put on you, and it's just like your eyes are foggy and you can't really get out of bed, and you're just stuck, it seems. And I was like, holy shit, I have depression.
Right. You're talking about me.
I didn't realize it until I was 26. That's something.
Yeah, that's about where I feel like you start like kind of falling into your own skin, or at least for me, like 25 started to feel like, oh, this is going to be me now.
Yeah. Totally. I felt the same way. I always have strived to be a good person and a positive person, but like, damn, I would get low. And I still can get low, but I'm on the medication now, and that's helped a ton.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah. No fogginess, no grogginess. There's still lows with medication, but it's not as low. Like it's not debilitating. I haven't had a problem getting out of bed in a while, which is fucking awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Big deal. Big deal for me. And the reason why I figured it out was because I achieved my wildest dreams, and I was still depressed.
Right.
I didn't know that it was depression. I thought that I was down and out on myself because I was delivering pizzas, and I was 5 years into that, and I was like miserable. miserable. I'm not. I don't.
Right.
I can't have jobs. I'm not that kind of person. I don't. It's not. That shit brings me down.
Yeah.
It hurts my body. It kills me in so many different ways. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but with debilitating depression like that, it's having to do things every day that you don't want to do for other people for lots of hours. And when I have other passions and things I'm interested in doing, and I don't want to be there. I want to be playing guitar. I want to be recording something. I want to be learning songs and playing songs, whatever it is. The only good that came from that was I got to be in my car a lot and sing and write songs, and I didn't have to stay in that building. I never had a job where I had to stay in a building.
It sucks.
I just stuck with Domino's. After I graduated college, I got a job when I was 20. My first job was basically when I was 21 at Domino's. So, yeah.
Shout out Jason Schwartz, one of my best friends from high school. Worked there for 17 or 18 years before he got his first office job. Put himself through 12 years of college, delivering pizzas.
12 years.
He got that job when we were 16. We were sophomores. He started working at that one location on Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh, North Carolina. And he did it all the way until our mid-30s.
Wow.
Proud of you, bud. Way to get out of there.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's
Some people don't get out. They just stay. You know how many 40-year-olds I worked with? So many.
Probably a lot, yeah.
It was either high schoolers or 50-year-old dudes.
Right.
Just down and out on their luck. And that's not a good vibe.
Yeah.
I don't get along with 50-year-old dudes that just aren't interesting.
Right. They're working their way up the managerial chain. They're like the assistant manager and they're on a power trip.
Yeah, that's annoying too. But not even that. Just
settle down, Larry. You'll get your shot.
Fucking Alexandro.
So that was all up north, right? Did you do?
Nope.
That was all down here.
So I graduated college down here in Hollywood. And like I said, my buddy that I moved down here with was getting into drugs and alcohol. And
roommates or just friends?
We were roommates at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I got fired from my job as a busboy at Kitchen 24 on Coinga, actually, over where you
Kitchen 24
go.
On Coinga. Okay.
It's like Hollywood Boulevard in Coinga.
Oh, right. That's in that little strip with all the bars and clubs and stuff. Yeah.
I don't even know how long I worked there, but I got fired. I was working graveyard shift, bussing tables. There was like
3 a.m.
Yeah. And sometimes I would just go into the bathroom and sit on the floor. Just my back hurt so bad. It was graveyard. I had school during the day, and then
because the tables are way further away from you than they are from
dude.
anybody.
I have to bend over and
wow.
Fuck sinks, dude. Sinks suck.
They need to get short people for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't fit in. I was the only one that spoke English.
Yeah.
And I would just have problems trying to communicate with people. I think this podcast makes me sound like I'm racist against Mexicans now.
Hashtag racist against Mexicans.
Didn't I say Alexandro earlier?
Yeah, but that could be
Hispanic
that
name.
could be any. No, that's a very Mexican name.
I love Mexicans.
They're the best. I'm gonna build a door to the wall. Oh man. So what happened after Kitchen 24? Did you catch another job, or are you just like, I'm going to start podcasting?
Couldn't find a job after Kitchen 24.
Yeah.
I printed out resumes which said that I was a dishwasher for a year and a half in Oregon, and then that's it.
Right.
And I didn't want to put the Kitchen 24 thing. And I couldn't find a job. Surprise, surprise. Didn't have any work experience. Just dishwashing. And I refused to work in a restaurant. Refused after that. I was already a dishwasher for a year and a half and a prep cook in high school. It wasn't like a super full-time job, but I worked at a bar and grill just to kind of make money. I ended up saving up $2,000 to move out to LA, which is not a lot, but for me at the time it was.
Yeah, you're like, I got a whole year's worth of money saved.
That's fucking 2 years, man.
Yeah.
I grew up poor as shit.
Yeah, I think I had $1,500 on me when I moved here. One of my roommates had like $150. He was the one that was most successful. Shout out Cybers.
That's so funny.
We moved 3 guys into a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And a dog. And then 2 months later, one of our guys met a girl, moved her in.
Oh,
so
great.
it was 3 guys and a chick and a dog. And then they got another min pin to match their big pin. And then it was 3 guys, a girl, 2 dogs.
But you're paying like $200 a month?
Yep. First day we moved in, go to Walmart, come back. There's 55 cops in the yard parking lot area because our neighbor downstairs put his rims for sale in the street. Someone came to steal them. He tried to stop them, and they retorted with a gun in his face. They killed him right there. First day.
Holy shit!
Welcome to Los Angeles. There's a dead guy in your front yard.
Where's that? Where was that?
A couple streets down from here. Whitsett and Van Owen. Whitsett and Victory.
It's in the valley?
Yeah, it's
in the
right.
Valley?
Yeah. Not
Holy
that we're in the valley
shit.
right now at all, but if we were in the valley, it would be right down the street.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few dead bodies around that I haven't seen. I've never seen a dead body. I don't want to.
Right.
But
did you always expect to find one in the woods when you were a kid? Did you go in the woods when you were a kid?
yeah, a lot. I grew
Right.
up in Oregon, dude.
The movies taught us that if we're a bunch of dudes walking through the woods, we're eventually going to find a dead body.
I was more focused on cougars and bears and shit like that.
Like the animal, not the older lady.
yeah, no, I welcomed those cougars with open arms.
Right.
So I couldn't find a job after graduating from singing school. Surprise, surprise, with no work experience. Every day for 6 months, I would put a backpack on. I had longer hair. I cut it to this length, and I took out my earrings, and I was trying to look presentable. I didn't have a beard or anything. And nothing, not one phone call back.
Wow.
I applied at Skechers and the mall, anything not to work at a restaurant. I applied at storage facilities and fucking, let me just make sure that's still going. Okay.
We're doing it.
The screensaver came on. I just want, sorry.
No, you're all good.
And so I had to, and then my roommate, who was getting into alcohol really bad, screwed me over financially, and I had to go. I had to go. I sold my car just to get home, and I moved back home.
Oh, back up north?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never saw it as a failure, but I kind of failed. And but it didn't feel like it. I just kept doing what I was doing, but in another area.
Right. Was it always, I'm just going to come up here and reset and I'm going back? Was it always in your head that you're coming back here?
I was going to try. Yeah. I was 21, right? And I started a band, and I was going to tour around the country with them. That's what I wanted to do.
Sure.
There was like 3 members that were like 50-year-olds, but they were amazing guitar players.
Sure.
We didn't look good, but we sounded good.
Right.
And
was it a paint truck band?
no.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, all the guys are painters, and
Right.
they come. One of them, yes, one of them, yeah, dude. One of them, yeah. He
Was your promo picture taken on a railroad track or against a brick wall? Or both?
Brick wall.
We had a wall of shame at the first management company that I worked at. Anybody who sent their promo in, if it was a brick wall or on a train track, your
my
picture
God.
got to go on the wall.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm notorious for derailing people in the middle of a story.
No, that's good.
That's my main note.
I took that band about as far as it could go in Oregon. We got to open up for like Soulfly and Sanctuary, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
It was like a Iron Maiden meets fucking, what did I used to say? My band is like Iron Maiden meets something screamy.
Oh, screaming.
Like a band that screams, whatever it is. Fucking anything.
Alisana.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's only a deep dive because they used to practice next to us.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, cool. They got a deal and they went off to become who they are, and they're still touring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Cool. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter that they got a deal and I didn't. My band and I say all the time that the best thing that ever happened to us is that we didn't get a record deal.
100%.
Because that would have been, if we got a record deal, it would have been 2006, 2007. Can't sell albums. Nobody knows how to download anything yet. Even if we got one hit, we would have been done by 2010. By then, we'd all been in our 30s with no real job experience, coming off the road feeling like a rock star with no money in our pocket.
Yeah.
What are you going to go do now? So we worked our way up through the film business and we got jobs, and now some of us work at labels and some of us own our own agencies and production companies and podcast studios. And
See?
now we're getting back together because we can afford to be in a band now.
That's pretty cool. Oh, dude. Being in a band with money, I wonder what that's like. Like, I never had money when I was in a band. Every dime that I had would get reinvested into the band.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really have help from my band members because they didn't have any money. So I was investing everything I had. I made like, I don't know, $1,100 a month in Oregon delivering pizzas.
What'd you do with the other 1,000?
So I would put everything into the band, and that was a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it's fun being a frontman, and we practiced like 3 times a week, and I got so fucking good at singing. I developed my scream. I developed a better voice, and that was like, because it was a huge crash course. Like all of a sudden I'm singing every fucking day for long periods of time, where I wasn't doing that every day, but I sang, but I was in shape. I was in vocal fucking shape.
Right.
Yes. And
were you did you do like the proper whisper screamy technique so you don't blow your throat out?
Yeah. I've never lost my voice.
Wow. I lost mine this week.
Why? How?
I was on set for 14 hours yelling at people, and then I went and did karaoke that night. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And then I did an episode yesterday where I could barely talk. I sounded like the Marlboro Man.
Like, I did karaoke.
I shouldn't use the same Marlboro joke in 2 episodes back to back. So I'm going to have to put an episode between this one and yesterday's episode.
Just for that one joke.
Just for that one Marlboro joke.
Just for maybe a person might know that you did that.
But
how many podcasters say the same stories on back-to-back episodes?
If there's a guest that goes from like, I'm sure it's even happened to you where a guest has ping-ponged from like Bert over to Ron and they're on a promo in a movie or something. Mm-hmm. You probably hear almost the exact same podcast.
Yeah, unless it's good. Unless they do a good job at not doing that.
Yeah.
When they're playful, that's when it's fun.
Sure.
If it's an interview, then yeah, they're gonna say the same shit because that's their story. That's how they. So how did you start comedy?
Well, the
same way everyone did. I just put a mic in front of my face in front of people once.
Right. And then I did it over and over again until people liked it. A lot. Yeah. I have the same philosophy with the podcast. I'm just going to keep doing what I like to do and talking to people that I find fascinating until everybody catches on. And if they don't catch on, cool. I'm having a great time doing it anyway.
Yeah. Just doing something, doing anything is better than doing nothing.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, because if you get joy out of what you're doing, then that's fucking worth it.
Yep.
If this is keeping you from staying in bed all day, that's amazing.
Yep.
That is incredible, and that is something that's worth it right there.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, fucking depression. Do you have depression?
Well, I had winter depression when I lived in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't
seasonal.
Yeah, and I didn't know it. But every like May, June, I would just wake up one day and like things would taste better and the colors were brighter. I didn't feel like I had a tank on my back.
Yeah.
And then the summer would be amazing. And then right around October or November, things would start to slow down.
Yeah.
Like, everything felt weird. It was like, oh my God, it's so cold.
Yeah.
And then when I moved out here, it's like 70 degrees every day.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And I mean, the first couple of years when you move here as a production assistant on set, like you're working.
It's hot as fuck.
It's hot. You're working 14, 16 hours a day. You're not getting a lot of work because you just started. So you're waiting to get your name out there. So you're working super hard and then doing nothing. So those were some trying times.
That's weird, but you're freelance.
Yeah. But the days that you're like on a big set around celebrities and super high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go back to your apartment and you're like, that was fun. I'm really tired from yesterday. I am going to sit here today, just recover. And that turns into 2 days and 3 days. And you're waiting for your phone to ring. And you're like, okay, I need some work now. So you call all your buddies and be like, got any work? And they're like, yeah, I can put you on something next week. You're like, okay, I got to kill 4 days.
Yeah, but you have to have those buddies first.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
I got really lucky. I moved out here with my entire band. My singer lived here for 9 months before we moved here.
Uh-huh.
So he braved it out. He got a job right away working for a music video company.
Oh,
So
cool.
we got to work our first music video 3 days after we got here.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. So I can't imagine how dark it was for him for those 9 months, not having any friends. And then we finally show up and we motley crewed this place. And we were inseparable for years.
That's awesome.
And it was a lot of fun. I think having a good support structure when you move here is key.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I didn't have that when I moved here for the second time, which we're getting to.
Yeah.
Eventually.
You're really good at the segues. So what year was that when you moved back? What happened? How long did it take you to regroup and get back down here?
3 years. 3 years.
Were you able to find a non-restaurant job up there to
Domino's?
went back to Domino's?
No, that's when I first started the
Domino's?
job. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't find a job here in LA, 21 years old, moved back to Oregon, moved in with my parents who were in the middle of a divorce. So that was fucking.
When it rains, it pours.
Oh, so my best friend fucked me over financially, didn't have any money, had to sell my car, my first car that I loved, that Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend of 4 years left me for her stepbrother.
Whoa.
My parents were getting a divorce. My sister was moving out and going to college. That was kind of sad. We're super close. And I had to move back to LA or to Oregon. And I had to move back into my childhood home.
Same room?
Same room, yeah. I went back there a couple of years ago, and that room is about as big as my studio here.
Yeah.
So small. I have no idea how
Did your parents leave it like you left it?
Yeah. They're like, he'll be back.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. They've always believed in me. They've always been super supportive.
That's awesome.
They've just been involved in their own drama, obviously, since divorce and whatnot, but everything has seemed to iron out now.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say about divorce. If you are going through divorce with your parents, it's not forever.
Right.
It's going to suck for a little bit, but as long as they don't make you the middleman, and if they do make you the middleman, then acknowledge that and tell them not to do that, because that's not fair.
That would be really hard.
It's fucking weird.
Tell your mom, blah, 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 blah.
Tell your dad this.
Oh.
Tell your mom that. Your dad's not giving me enough money.
And then when you see him, did you tell your dad? Did you tell your mom? And then you got to confirm
Like,
you passed
I don't
on the
know. I'm
message.
trying to get laid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about other stuff.
Right.
That's so fucking funny. So I got a job working at Domino's. I got a job like right when I moved back home to Oregon. Like, I just went in to go get pizza, and I was with my friend, and he was like, "Are you guys hiring?" And he was like, "Yeah."
You could start tomorrow.
He's like, "Yeah, come in tonight and come chat." And that dude he's the owner of that Domino's. He's my best friend now. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, we became best friends. And shout out to Jake Frazier.
What's up, Jake?
Domino's, Dallas, Oregon.
What's
503, dude, 623.
Oh,
Fucking gangster, dude. No, that's a KKK town. That's an old KKK town.
oh, really?
Yeah, dude, Dallas, Oregon. They have pictures of the KKK
Huh.
having parades down Main Street in front of the
Like to this
what would
day, it's
become
still
Domino's.
big there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It was big back in the day,
I was
but
going to say, Jake, man, you need to watch out.
yeah, dude, Jake he's the Grand Master,
Oh.
and there are lots of other followers. What do they call them?
Klansman?
Clans members is
Mm-hmm.
Ku Klux Klans members.
I was trying to write this joke. This is not going to come out well, but I was trying to write a joke about Klans members that haven't really quantified their sexuality, and they were transgendered.
Fuck.
Boo. Okay. I'm not taking that one on stage ever.
I don't know, man. There might be a little nugget there. Transgender is pretty funny.
Transgender is funny, but you're gonna piss off everybody in town on the way to that. Working that joke out.
Yeah, how do you get to that punchline? What would be the way? Because you have to set up the KKK, and you have to set up being transgender.
You have to open up the room to things that could go wrong real quick.
Two major things.
Yeah. And you can set the whole room on fire on the way to get to one tag. So I think I'll just file it away. And if another story lends itself.
Yeah, you'd probably lose everyone right away.
Yeah. Which I'm really good at. But.
So got a job working at Domino's, and then how I got back to LA. Now this is the important stuff, because all the stuff before was total struggle. And I went down back to LA to grab my stuff that was in storage. I drove down to LA with my dad's truck to grab all the shit that I put in storage and bring it back to Oregon. Like, this was like the final, like, all right, I gotta grab my valuables that are in Oregon or in LA, and I gotta bring it back to Oregon. And I need my stuff, because I sold my car and I took a plane home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then
storage here is expensive.
Oh yeah, it was. I don't even remember how much it was, but it was way too much for me to keep doing that.
Yeah,
I was running out of money from selling my car for $2,000.
Yeah, so you could fit it all in your dad's truck, or what you couldn't fit was
it was a big truck. So when I was going down, I was talking to my friends that lived down here. I was like, "Hey, let's hang out while I'm here. I'm probably not going to see you for a while, you know, as I'm moving back home." And then they were like, "Yeah, let's go to Vegas." And I was like, "Yeah, I never went to Vegas." And then I saw that my one of my favorite bands, Papa Roach, shout out to Papa Roach, was playing, and Stone Sour.
Okay.
And I'm a huge Stone Sour fan. So we go to Vegas. I go to that show. I had tickets. My friends didn't. My friends wanted to go gamble and get drunk and stoned and stuff. And so I went to the concert, and I was going to go back up to my room in between bands. And that's when I ran into a guy named James Michael. And he's somebody that I've looked up to for a very long time. He's a hit songwriter. He's a producer, and he's a lead singer of 6 a.m., that band, that he was in with Nikki Sixx and
right,
DJ Ashba.
Yeah,
he's a singer and producer of that band, and I've always loved them. I've always loved his music, and he was like my number one influence, straight up.
That's cool.
So I see him walking in the casino, and he's walking right towards me, and I had this tattoo here, "Life is Beautiful." That's their first. That's a song off of their first album. And that's my first tattoo that I got when I was 18 years old, like 2008.
That's a tough spot for a tattoo.
I'm never doing the other side. I might do the other side. But I walk up to him and I'm like, "Dude, I have Life is Beautiful tattooed on my ribs. Like, I absolutely love your music. And like, your music saved my mom's life. She was feeling like suicidal at one point, and then one of your songs fucking pulled her out of it, man. Like that, thank you for making that kind of music." And he was like, "You have a good aura about you. You know, let me give you my number." And
wow.
I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
But we ended up hanging out that night because the friend that I was with was friends with DJ Ashba, who he was in Guns N' Roses for a while. He was in Beautiful Creatures.
Yeah.
So I was like, actually, my friends are looking for DJ. He's like, "I'm looking for DJ too." He's like, "All right, come on, let's go." And then we went to go look, fucking find him. And then he's like, "We're getting drunk tonight." And I was like, "All right." So he's buying me fucking Jaeger bombs all night.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
I miss Jaeger.
It was the crazy shit. And then we went backstage to like go hang out with Papa Roach, and while Stone Sour was on stage, and that was fucking crazy. So not only am I 21 years old hanging out with my biggest influence, but I'm connecting and becoming friends, it seems. Like, what the fuck? And I left Vegas, and he texted me. He was like, "Hey, great hang in Vegas. I'll hit you up soon."
Right. Can we just pause on that moment for a second and explain the odds of two dudes meeting and hanging out in Vegas?
Oh yeah.
Like that, it's
impossible.
It's very rare, especially in Vegas.
Especially someone who's like,
you hang with your crew or you hang with chicks, but like meeting new dudes and new crew in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can convey that to the listeners at home very well, but that's a huge thing.
No one's there to network.
Nope.
No one is there to network.
No. You're there to do all the things you're not allowed to do anywhere else with all of your friends that won't tell anybody when they get home. So dude, that I want to kind of just put an exclamation point on that, because that's really huge, especially to meet like
Have you heard how I met Bert?
No.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, just walking around. Did you know who he was?
Yes. I was a fan. We'll get to that.
Okay. I'm like, stop talking about what you're talking about now. Talk about Bert right now.
No, so it's all connected.
Yeah,
it's all fucking connected. So the crazy thing was, I would hit James up every once in a while. Every few months, I didn't want to bug him. Didn't want to annoy him. I was like, all right, this guy's like my fucking favorite rock star on the planet. I'm not gonna fuck this up. And so I would text him every once in a while, like, hey, if you ever need a studio assistant, someone to wrap cables, whatever, let me know. I'll just send that out. He'd be like, oh yeah, like, yeah, maybe, we'll see, whatever. But those texts, those replies didn't seem disingenuous. It didn't seem like he was trying to get rid of me. It seemed like he was being very genuine, and I would have left him alone if I thought I was being annoying, because that's my number one fear, is to bug people.
Exactly. And it's so hard to tell between, we good? Still rolling?
Yep, all good. Yeah.
It's so hard to tell on text. Like, I was worried about that with you. It's like, I really want him to come check out my studio.
Oh yeah.
Tell me that all my shit's awesome.
Yeah.
And compare it to what gear does he work on?
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna check in once a month and see if that's cool. And then here we are. We did it.
Fucking perfect, man. Perfect.
So time's going by. You're checking in on him once in a while.
Time's going by, man. 3 years later, dude, I was so miserable delivering pizzas. I would fucking scream at the top of my lungs, like, get me the hell out of here. I would punch the ceiling of my car. Like, I so badly wanted to get out of where I was, and I didn't want to be around the people I was around. I felt like they were holding me back because they small towns, small minds, I would think, which is not fair to say now, but back then I had to be kind of extreme with it and like, just get the fuck out of there, away from those podunk people. That's kind of what I would say. Not anymore. I love those people now, but yeah, I was fucking over it. And one day I was like, I'm gonna text James and just see what's up with him. And he was like, yeah, let's set up a phone call for next week or whatever. My assistant will be in touch. And I was like, what the fuck? And so we talked for like an hour on the phone, and he was telling me the projects that he was gonna work on, and I was like super excited. And then he was like, yeah, so when can you be down here? I was like, I can move down there in July. And he was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I fucking got my dream job, like as an assistant producer next to James Michael. While
he's producing, you're in the studio with him?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's working on his 6 a.m., my fucking favorite band.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't have many producer skills at all. I didn't really, I would say hardly any at the time. Yeah. Yeah.
So on the job training kind of stuff.
Yes. But he didn't know that. I thought that I was going to be like an assistant, but what he needed was a fucking another producer with him.
All right. And I did full on engineer.
Full on engineer. Yeah. And I knew some stuff, like probably more than the average person for sure, but I didn't know how to I didn't even know how to program drums. I didn't know. I was just kind of getting into recording at that time. So I was like, and he was like, I thought you would have more skills than that. And I was like, yeah, it was devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating. And I was like, yeah, I thought I was going to be like an assistant. And so I moved down here, and then I wasn't working with him anymore.
Wow. Yeah. So super stoked on the way down. Like, yes, we did it. And then the carpet gets pulled out as soon as you get here.
Yeah. A few months after I got here. And I was sleeping on an air mattress in my friend's living room for 5 months when I moved back out here.
Seems like you might need like a couple of air mattresses. Do they make them in Halston size?
Ridiculous. No.
Wow. So do you hang your head off the end or your feet off the end?
Feet.
Cool.
Feet for sure.
So what's the next play? What happens?
I got a job at Domino's here in LA, started delivering that way, and I was like, there's an open door for me if I just become a producer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. I fucking stayed on my computer for hours, for years, and I learned. I figured it out, and he instead of him being my boss or whatever, he became a mentor figure.
Okay, cool.
So we still kept in contact because he's the nicest dude ever, and he wanted to like hang with someone who was chill and cool and someone he wanted to hang with, you know. So I was still in contact with him, and I was delivering pizzas, being miserable, listening to podcasts, listening to the Bertcast, listening to Joe Rogan, listening to Tom Segura's podcast, Your Mom's House, and it was getting me through my delivery days, like my work days, and I would have my headphone in my ear, and I would deliver pizzas, and I'd listen to podcasts all day.
Yeah.
And
Did you run out?
I needed them.
They weren't making a lot of them back then. Right?
I jumped in when Rogan already had like 800 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had tons to go back to. Bert was at like had 270 before I started there. And now we're at 384.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. Moshe Kasher's the next guest.
Oh, Moshe's awesome.
And then we don't have any more after that.
Because that's awesome.
We got to record them.
Yeah.
Miserable.
84. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. I've done over 100 episodes with Bert. And then 103 with Leanne. 70,
oh, really?
78 with Ron there.
Does she pump them out more than once a week?
Nope. Just once a week. Wow. 2 years on Thursday, actually.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, I guess we're getting to that point, right?
Yeah.
I was delivering pizzas, listening to podcasts, and I heard in the intro of one of the podcasts, which I didn't always listen to because there's ads, right? So I just so happened to be listening to the intro when he was talking about needing a producer, and he was getting really frustrated with his podcast because he kept fucking things up, and
he was doing it himself
for like 6 years.
He doesn't really come off like he's got the tech specs up there for. I'm not trying to insult Bert in any way, but
he doesn't seem tech savvy at all.
Yeah.
He likes to do. He likes to be in control of his own stuff.
Sure.
So I think that's what it was. He didn't know how to improve what he was already doing.
Gotcha.
So he was using handheld mics with a H6 recorder, and sometimes he would have video, sometimes he wouldn't, and just like it was inconsistent. And sometimes he was, running his own levels. So he'd be like, "Oh, check 1, 2," in the beginning of the podcast, but things changed later on, and one person's way louder, and he didn't know how to do like the mixing stuff, and I don't think he knew any of the more advanced stuff, I would say.
Yeah.
So I was busting my ass building my home studio and becoming a producer. At that point, I was like recording other people finally and recording myself, because that's what I got into it for anyways, was to record my own music. I was sick of fucking going to shitty producers and shitty people who charge way too much fucking money and giving me the worst song ever. No one knows how to mix.
Dude, studio time in LA is like...
Not in LA, here, in Oregon, I mean.
Oh, still?
I'm talking about like paying $1,000 for 5 songs, paying $2,000 for 5 songs, and they come out horrible. I didn't have $2,000.
Right.
That's a lot of money for me back then.
And by the time you get that song back, your money is gone.
Oh,
like, if you're like, I need a refund. Yeah, I get a refund.
He wanted to do more. He wanted to do by the hour, and I was like, "Can we do a flat rate of $2,000 for 5 songs?" And he was fighting me on that. Anyways,
right.
That's why I became a producer. So I heard Bert say that he wanted a producer, and I was like, "That'd be a fun job. I could do that." And then I heard that he lives across the street from me.
Oh, he lives close to here.
Yeah.
I have an off mic
across the street.
Wow.
And I was like, I go on walks around his block all the time. I was like, if I ever run into him, I'll ask him.
Did you up the level of times you were
I walked
conveniently walking around the block?
Yeah. We made it a daily walk thing, called it a Bert walks. Going on a Bert walk.
Going on a Bert walk.
I just had that feeling like that was my job.
Yeah.
I just had that strong feeling. As soon as I heard, I was like, that's my job.
Yeah.
I have to go get it.
Especially if it's really close by. And
yeah, I was like, that would be perfect. I mean, holy fuck. And
how did you piece it together? I mean, I know he's let it slip on this show a couple times. He lives here and there, but
yeah, he said that he lived behind this restaurant, and it was like a really specific.
I heard that episode.
Yeah, Danish and O'Neill. It's the Danish and O'Neill episode. He got
no.
really drunk and he was like, "Oh, I live behind a fast food place," and I was like, and then he said the city, I think, and I was like,
yeah.
I fucking live right there too.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Craziness, right?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that? And so, going around the block with my girlfriend and just taking our evening strolls and going down his street and then going back home too.
Casually just putting it into a lower gear when you're going by his house, just coasting. That's cool.
And then I was like,
you run into him.
If he's ever with his kids, I'm not gonna fucking talk to him. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. And so one time we were walking around the block and he was playing catch with his daughter, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking bother him. He's with his family. What the fuck? And then Isla threw the ball over the roof, like into the backyard, and they were in the front yard. And so she ran back, and he was by himself, like right there. And I was like, "Hey, Bert, I'm Halston. I live across the street. I'm a producer, and I've been working under James, and I would love to do that job. I live across the street. I could come over anytime you needed me. I could, I know how to do all that stuff." And he's like, "Yeah. What's your number?" And then the next day we were, having meetings and
wow.
Yeah. And then it just
2 for 2.
Yeah. And then, dude, I told James that I was working with Bert doing that producing, and James started a podcast, and I was a producer for that too.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, we did like 30 some episodes with him. And then he got too busy with his record label and he's still very busy working in the industry. But we had Stacy on, and
that's where it all comes together.
Yeah.
We had an off mic chat about Stacey Jones. Shout out Stacy.
He said that you moved out here with him, or you lived with him at one point, and
oh no, I definitely didn't live with him.
Oh, you didn't live with
him? Yeah. We
you were in a band with him.
My singer was his guitar tech / drum tech.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's fucking crazy. So and then Leanne started her podcast.
Right.
And then here's another small world story. I'll make this one quick. I was producing Bert's podcast, and then another comedian named Ron Funches, he came on Bert's podcast, and I was like, I have a fucking crazy story for Ron Funches, because we have a mutual friend who died recently, and we were both at that funeral in Oregon. Because Ron's from Oregon.
Not the neighbor comedian of Bert's that just died this year. Someone else.
Who died? Who's the neighbor that died? Are you talking about like Luke Perry?
Oh, well, that too. But he was the closer at the store every night.
Oh, Brody. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brody lived around here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I see him all the time.
But not Brody is what you're saying.
No.
For Oregon.
No. Yeah, the Oregon one was like I knew him. Dude, it's crazy. But I was close with him towards the end of his life. He had surgery to remove a tumor from his brain. He was in his 30s, and then he survived the surgery, but he got a pulmonary embolism after. Ooh. And then died that way. And I worked at Domino's with him in Oregon, and I had known him since I was like 15, because you just know everyone in this small town, sure. Right?
And Ron's from
15 minutes away from where I'm from. And so he came on Bert's, and I told him that story. I was like, dude, you're going to shit your pants. I was at Will's funeral. And he was like, what? He's like, because him and Will like grew up together. Like Will saved Ron's life at some point and like let him live in his basement, and like they were, it's like that, they were like that close.
Yeah.
So I knew that he was about to have his mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got shown him pictures of like Will. I'm like, oh, I took this picture, you know, right before he passed and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And then a few months later, he messages me on Instagram, was like, hey, I think I'm going to start a podcast. Would you like to be my producer?
Wow.
I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, I got like 6 podcasts going. I'm fucking going hard. I got to quit my day job. That was 2 years ago now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And I'm not looking back, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just fucking building, and now I've narrowed it down to after James stopped doing his, I've narrowed it down to 3. And then I also do like I edit the Something's Burning audio from his cooking show and just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, dude, yeah, lots of weird shit, lots of small world moments, lots of like it seems like it was meant to be sort of moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a very optimistic person, and I've always been positive, and I've known that I was going to be successful always.
Yeah. You kind of have to have that mindset.
I've always known. I've always fucking known. I've always known, which is crazy because I grew up poor, and I never knew anyone with money, but I always knew that I was going to be fucking successful. And it's just kind of getting started now.
Yeah.
Fucking had the best year of my life last year, and I'm very grateful, and I'm how I got here blows my mind every day.
Right.
Like,
it's an awesome story.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. None of that should have happened to me. I could have easily just like not known any of that stuff and not run into anybody and not gone to
said
Vegas
hi to Bert or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fortune favors the bold, man.
Could have not had depression and would have not wouldn't listen to comedy since I was young. Fucking insane, right?
It's weird what you can get away with if you just ask. So, if you just go up to somebody and say, hey, here's what I can do. Here's what you do.
You have to have something to offer.
Yeah.
That's what people don't. They're like, ooh, that's what I did with James at first. Like, I want to be next to you.
Right.
Can I wrap cables? And then when he did need somebody specific, I was like, I want to do that. And I couldn't do that until later on I could. And I have no idea what I was saying. I just totally fucking
it's all good.
Spaced out.
We're offering.
Do you smoke weed?
I do.
Let's get high.
We're about to get high, everybody. I've smoked weed on my last 2 episodes though, so we're maybe do that off mic.
Yeah. We got to get to the fight soon.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, what time is fight?
We've been going for an hour and 6 minutes.
Oh, look at that!
Fucking perfect.
Boom. So we'll just call this Halston Part 1.
Part 1.
Yeah, and we'll invite you to the studio for Part 2.
Okay.
Down the road when you have some time. Because we got you all the way to present times, right?
What do you mean? Yeah.
That's what's going on now.
Yes.
We got all the way through it.
I
guess I have one technical question.
Yeah.
So you had all the audio producing skills. And then podcasts started being put up on YouTube. Did you have to scramble to learn how to edit video?
Great question. Yes. I was doing my own videos on YouTube and music videos and editing that way. But I didn't know, it was like just kind of like a side thing. I really wanted to get the audio down first with music and stuff. And then the videos, like fucking whatever. I play guitar in front of a camera and then just like sync the audio with the video. So yes, I had to, especially when we got into multicam, and James's podcast was the first podcast that we started doing multicam with. And I had to learn Final Cut, and I had to learn how to properly sync audio with video for something that's 2 hours long.
Yep.
Because certain frame rates don't go with certain bit depths of audio, and it's crazy, and it's just troubleshooting though. And now I'm confident in my abilities to do video, and it's really come in handy in my life. And now it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
I fucking love editing video, and I love doing it. I love it's kind of a pain in the ass to do the cuts and stuff, but I want to make it good. I want to make it quality. And
that's the thing about editing video is that there's always like another trick, and you pick up new and new tricks. Like the longer you do it, the more you find your hotkeys,
the flow. Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute, I can get the Final Cut keyboard on my Premiere deck, or I can swap that, or I can do this shortcut.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it can make you a little sad because you're like, when you find a new shortcut that saves you like render time or cutting time, and you're like, I've been doing it this slower way for like 2 years. I wish I could have those 8 weeks back. Yeah. But then you're just, happy that you're cutting faster. And hi, how's it going?
This is my roommate, John.
Hey, John.
Just watch your foot on the cable. We're wrapping up. It's all good. We're just doing a podcast for funsies.
We're real loose around my show.
It's all good.
It's all, everything's
We're gonna get
cool.
stoned. I want a banana.
Bam. Banana time. Yeah. I want to chat technique off mic so we don't bore both of my listeners to death. That's my running joke, is that I have two. But I want to thank you for your hospitality. Thanks for letting us do the Safety Meeting podcast in your home. And
absolutely.
Still want to give you a tour of my studio.
Yes.
Which is getting much smaller on Monday.
Yeah, somebody's moving in, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're not going to announce it just yet.
Yeah.
But it's exciting.
It's a big deal.
It is. I think it's a bigger deal than I know that it is.
It's a way bigger deal than you know it is. Yeah. This person, he or she, gets huge numbers whenever they're on podcasts.
Yeah. So huge. We're hoping to become friends and sneak them onto the Safety Meeting.
There you go.
Yeah. And all their guests. And maybe get on the network that they're on.
What network are they on?
I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching the Safety Meeting podcast, everybody. And thanks again to Halston. And check out his socials. I'm just pointing at his dick. I don't know where his socials are going to end up on the screen.
Probably on my dick. Hopefully
we may or may not have a edit this episode contest. I can't imagine.
We're not going to do that.
No, I'm just going to cut this myself.
I'm going to do it.
No, I'm definitely doing it. I'm doing it better. Okay. I've already done it, and you don't even know it.
Well, it's better now.
Yeah. We'll see you next time, everybody. Look out for snakes.